What's up, everybody? It's Goomer22, bringing you a Week 3 highlight reel from the VDL Victory Draft League. So this is Week 3 kind of best moments. I'm going to give some context on some of these clips, and we'll go through a top 10. This first one is from Scraggy's versus Rebellion, and I think this might be game 2. But yeah, check out what happens. So that was huge because he switched in the Gigalith to get sand, so his Stoutland outsped the Urshifu, and then the Urshifu wasn't even Sash and able to clean it up with a Max Mindstorm. Like he said, misreading that Max Guard, but hey, it worked out. It worked out for him, and that was a huge play. Gave him a lot of momentum that game. This clip, I've got a little setup. So. As you can see, the Metagross is maxing. This is Matrix versus Kentucky Kingdras. And basically, this is game 1. The Kentucky Kingdras have a G-Max Toxtricity, and the Metagross is paralyzed, remember. They have Veil up, and so it's Metagross and Thundurus with Veil versus the G-Max Toxtricity and a low health Dragon Bolt. So let's check out what happens. So Dragon Bolt sets up Reflect. And Toxtricity goes for the Stun Shock into the Thundurus. And this is huge. He gets a crit. However, it doesn't kill because the Thundurus is Assault Vest. And that would have been huge because this Thundurus now cleans up this Dragapult, which would have threatened this Metagross. And there's no paralysis. Hits the Max Quake through Reflect. Still gets the Oko. Matrix able to clean up this game 1, but so that was some good prep bringing the Assault Vest, but that could have ended very, very differently. Okay, so now we've got Kudela. I believe this is game 2 versus Fusion Fishes. And yeah, he's got this Max Crook and Latios out on the field, and he's got a lot of momentum going. So let's see what Fusion does.
You definitely want to conserve that.
Switches out the Naganadal to Cinderace. Tangela takes half from the Psychic, and then only takes about 40% from a max Flutterby from this Crook. And like Kudela said, the Tailwind does peter out. So now, Fusion Fishes has a Tangela, which he can just Rage Powder again. Cinderace, which is faster than Latios because Tailwind petered out. And he hasn't used his max. So he's able to max Cinderace and go to town. And I believe Fusion Fishes does clean up this game. So that was a huge survival by the Tangela. Great EV spread to allow it to survive those 2 attacks. All right, so this is MTB versus, I believe, Ted. And what happened was this Grimmsnarl previously had tricked an eject button onto the Licky Licky and snagged its Assault Vest.
By activating its eject button. try to trick the Cresselia because I want information for game 2 to see what item it has. But I have an AV, so I'm not able to actually this greedy fairly. So this is fairly safe on my part. Might have been greedy, but I felt pretty confident in maxing my Gigantamaxing my Brimstone at max pick. Not because I was planning on Gigantamaxing it.
So I think this was a huge play by MTB, recognizing that he tricked the Assault Vest. So now his Grimmsnarl has some good special bulk. He brought it with Trick and Fake Out, so not necessarily planning on maxing it probably. But in the situation where this Cresselia is out on the field full health, he has the opportunity to get big damage on it with the G-Max Snooze. And with all that special bulk from the Assault Vest, it's not going to go down to this Colossal, which isn't set up. So I think it's a great play, adjusting your initial game plan and maxing this Grimmsnarl to get damage off on this Cresselia. Also able to find out that the Cresselia is Colbur Berry. This is another play from Scraggy's versus Rebellion. So this is a turn 1 max from both of them. Whimsicott opts to taunt. And the huge play here is that that Klefki didn't actually have any attacking moves. So that Klefki missed its Reflect, and then the next turn it's just forced to switch out or struggle. And so that turn 1 taunt, really huge by the Whimsicott, and I think ultimately helped Scraggy win the game. All right, this is a clip from me, and just check out what happens.
He might be going for like a Fire Punch. He might go for Heat Wave, but he might go for Solar Game. I bet he's deciding between Solar Game. You are so clutch.
So what's clutch here is, so Sun was up. Leafeon has Chlorophyll, obviously. And I actually EV'd it to outspeed the Charizard after an Airstream boost, so +1. But I wasn't expecting Charizard to be Choice Scarf, so I guess I got kind of lucky there with my prep. Because in the Sun, a Charizard Choice Scarf would be able to just Heat Wave, clean up the Leafeon, break the Sash on my Kabutops, and then Tyranitar might be able to clean it up. Because in the Sun, I'm not sure that a Liquidation even kills Tyranitar. And so, it was pretty clutch that I EV'd my Leafeon that way. Able to set up the Rain Dance, go first, and just get rid of this Charizard. Otherwise, I think I lose that end game.
Fire Punch. No sir, no sir.
Especially because even if I wanted to go for the Charizard, I had Stone Edge, which isn't 100% accurate, so it wasn't guaranteed that I was going to clean that up unless I got that Rain Dance off. Okay, so this is the Ninja Squirtles versus, I believe, Taco. And basically what happened is Game 1, and this is Game 3. Game 1 and Game 2. The Ninja Squirtles have Max Charizard and Max Flared into this Rotom. So, pretty confident that he'll do it again. You'll see what play he makes. And Game 1, Ninja Squirtles actually switched out the Blastoise to Articuno, I believe. But they don't have to switch this time.
Please don't use Water Spout. I think I just died of that.
Yep, and so Ninja Squirtle's making a great safe play there, covering the switch in by Water Spouting. Because if it did switch out to Articuno like it did the Game 1, Then Taco has Tailwind, and it's got Heatran out there, which and with a +1 fire boost, and burned a turn of max as well. So great safe play by Ninja Squirrels to cover that switch. All right, so this is another clip from Kudela versus Fusion. This is game 3. The Slurpuff has Unburden. It's going for Charm on the Cinderace, and this Rillaboom, he has opted to just max it and go for Max Quake into this Cinderace. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think I just go for game. Yep, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh no. Oh, I messed up. I really messed up. Yeah, I seriously messed up. This is Airstream. This is Airstream. This is Airstream. I am. Oh, yes! Yes! Okay, I thought that was going to be Airstream for sure. I almost really messed up. So yeah, this won't KO. However, what I can do, please do not hypnosis me. That would be brilliant if you did not do that. Blizzard. Slurpuff avoided, but Wilbur did not. Don't freeze.
So the big thing about this play was, yes, the Cinderace could have max Airstreamed. I mean, either way, since it was charmed, a max Airstream or max Flare wouldn't have killed the Rillaboom, but the max Quake could have missed and then just done absolutely no damage to this Dynamax Cinderace. But now that the Cinderace is locked into fire, this Slurpuff, since it's the fastest through Unburden, can opt to Cotton Spore, which we had already seen in previous games, lower the Cinderace's speed, and the Rillaboom will go first and clean it up with a max Quake. So Kudela made a really risky but good play ultimately in this game, and it worked out for him, and he's able to clean up this game, finish out the game 3. So this is another one. This is actually game 1 from Kudela, and I just think this is a cool interaction because of how this play could have turned out, because this Sandslash is maxing, could have safety goggles to ignore the Rage Powder, and could just totally knock out this this Latios. In addition, this Volcarona, instead of Rage Powdering, could just go for like a Heat Wave or something like that. So we'll see what happens. So we see the Rage Powder.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect.
So now takes away his own Hail.
Okay. That's actually perfect. And so Volk will die, unfortunately. Oh, wow. That's so smart. That's really cool, actually. I like that.
So I thought that was a really cool play because the Max Rockfalls takes away his Hail, except then he uses Hail to reset at the end of the turn. But Kudela properly covered for that, sort of unknowingly, I guess, with the Tailwind, which was really nice because now Latios is still faster, and whoever he brings in will most likely still be faster than the Sandslash, even under Hail. So kind of an interesting play how it turned out, and a nice tech from the Vulpix. But it could have gone a lot of different ways, because if he did have safety goggles, he could have just taken out that Latios and then no Tailwind. Okay, so in this next clip from it comes from Gert's game against let's see. Oh, it was against the Seattle Seadras. and they have Comfey Moltres. Now, what's good to know is the Moltres did not protect last turn, so it could protect this turn. And so let's see what plays made. And the Moltres Fiery Wrath did about 73 damage. So and it had Colbur Berry. So now that the Musharna doesn't have Colbur Berry, another Fiery Wrath should do about double. But that still won't take out the Musharna.
Good for that. Into club play, because either way, we stop the out switch moments, or we hit more choice. You know, it's a win-win here. Moltres is at +1 speed though, so that is a problem. Does the protection come up on Moltres? So Musharna can go down here, that's done now. Is that not fair? I've been crazy. Oh, it didn't go down. That's very bad news. That's extremely bad news. Please sign.
So this was kind of an insane play, both just at what each player did and kind of the luck of the situation. I'm not sure what the roll was, but I also forgot Trick Room was still up. So this Comfey opted to Helping Hand the Moltres, whereas Regirock could have just rockfalled it and totally gotten rid of it. Musharna could have just yawned the Comfey. But you do have risk of ally switch, and so Gurt covers that with a rockfall into the Comfey, assuming it'll take it out. However, even with the Sand Chip, this Comfey seems to live on 1, and since this Comfey opted to Helping Hand, that extra boost allows Moltres to get rid of the Musharna. So insanely big read from the Seadras that Gurt wouldn't go for the Moltres, because that could have been just a totally dead turn if the Regirock had max rockfall the Moltres. But now we see Trick Room ends, and this Comfey's living on 1, and he's forced to bring out this Urshifu, which he didn't bring Protect on, which means this Comfey is able to just heal right back up to full health with a Draining Kiss. And now we've got some just kind of bonus clips that I thought were funny from team previews.
So, we're gonna do that part of the video. I use my big brain, and I'll tell you exactly what they're gonna bring. Are you ready? Big brain, big brain, big brain. Boop. These are the 6 I expect to see. There's not like this pressure to like win and be number 1. Oh, wow, we are so correct. I'm surprised Claim isn't there, but
Let's see what we brought. Not Colossal, that's crazy. No Colossal.